Welcome back to episode 47 here at Tech Headlines Today, where we bring you the top tech headlines in an easy listening podcast. Check out our show links in the description if you want further details on a topic that we cover. Go ahead and subscribe or follow if you're new, and let's get into it. Windows 11 adoption may have stalled. AdDuplex is tracking Windows 11 usage by collecting anonymized user data from 5,000 Windows Store apps, and their data shows a major slowdown in adoption last month. That's a huge slowdown from January when AdDuplex reported Windows 11 adoption had doubled to 16.1%, based on a survey of around 60,000 PCs. PC benchmarking provider Passmark also keeps stats on OS adoption and found Windows 11 usage only increased by 1.6% last month. However, Passmark estimates Windows 11's share is significantly higher at 31.5%. The slow adoption of Windows 11 is partially due to Microsoft's requirements for the operating system, which include the need for a security feature on the processor called Trusted Platform Module. For now, all Microsoft will say is that it's still using a quote phased and measured approach with a focus on quality in delivering the OS to users. Other OS surveys from Valve's Steam and StatCounter have put Windows 11 market share at 16% and 12% respectively. Windows 10, on the other hand, continues to dominate with over a 70% share. Meta no longer requiring COVID booster shots for staff in U.S. offices. Facebook owner Meta is no longer requiring employees to have COVID-19 boosters to enter its offices in the United States, a company spokesperson said on Friday. The social media company previously said that all workers returning to the office would have to present proof of their booster shots while the company monitored the Omicron variant situation. We updated our requirements in early March to align with CDC guidance, and now COVID-19 boosters are no longer required for entry, though strongly recommended. The primary vaccination requirement, 1 or 2 shot series, remains in place, said Meta spokesperson Tracy Clayton. Ukrainian IT industry says it's still open for business. The IT Ukraine Association represents about 100 leading companies with 75,000 professional IT members between them in the country, which has become a nearshore haven for Western companies seeking skilled personnel, particularly relating to software development and engineering. Despite the Russian advances, the IT Ukraine Association's executive director, Konstantin Vazyek, is speaking to journalists online in a dimly lit home from an undisclosed location, with air raid sirens audible in the background. As Russian military forces advance from the south and east of the country, and with the port town of Mariupol under a constant siege, he's worried about his safety, but seemingly not as much as his broadband connection. He spoke to Computer World while his children were doing schoolwork online. Internet access is relatively unaffected by the Russian invasion so far, Vasyek said. The country's economy is affected by the disruption, but core banking and payment services are relatively unaffected. Russia will stop using Western software for critical infrastructure by 2025. Russian President Putin reportedly signed an order prohibiting critical infrastructure operators from using foreign software by 2025, in response to Western tech companies halting sales in Russia in response to the invasion of Ukraine. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has also prompted the rise of, quote, protestware and open-source projects that seek to disrupt Russian operations. One project was modified to delete files on Russian and Belarusian systems, for example, while another showed a, quote, call for peace on Russian devices. The Register reports that Order Number 166, quote, asks the Russian government to form a group focused on developing, producing, and maintaining trusted software and hardware for critical infrastructure projects, in addition to requiring government agencies to adopt these new rules. Mars is very quiet, but Perseverance rover still captures Martian sounds for science. Researchers used a microphone on Mars rover Perseverance to capture and analyze sounds from the planet. They used the sounds to learn about Martian atmosphere and other factors that affect it. The findings are essentially that sound on Mars is both slow to move and quick to attenuate. The speed of sound at sea level on Earth is about 767 miles per hour. On Mars, it was measured at 537 miles per hour, though that will change with the seasons as the air pressure rises and falls. And while a medium-sized sound like a voice drops off perhaps after 200 feet on Earth, that same sound will travel only 26 feet before becoming inaudible. Among the sounds the rover's microphone picked up are the snap of the tunneling laser, the puff of the blower that clears away dust, and the steady hum of Ingenuity's rotors when it takes off, even though it was some distance away. Listen to the sounds of Mars in the article's video. Link is in the description. NSA employee accused of sharing national defense secrets. An employee of the United States National Security Agency has been accused of sending national defense secrets from his personal email account. A 26-count indictment unsealed Thursday in the District of Maryland alleges that 60-year-old Mark Robert Unkenholtz willfully transmitted classified national defense information, or NDI, on 13 occasions between February 14, 2018 and June 1, 2020. Unkenholtz of Hanover, Maryland, held a top-secret SCI clearance and had lawful access to classified information relating to national defense the Department of Justice's Office of Public Affairs described as, quote, closely held by the government. National security information classified as top secret, secret, or confidential can only be accessed by individuals with the appropriate security clearance and can only be stored in an approved facility and container. The indictment alleges that Unkenholtz sent classified NDI to another person who is not authorized to receive it, despite knowing that the information could be used to the detriment of the United States or to the advantage of any foreign nation. Unkenholtz was arrested on Thursday morning and charged with 13 counts of willful transmission of NDI and 13 counts of willful retention of NDI. If convicted, he faces a maximum sentence of 10 years imprisonment for each count with which he is charged. Tesla increases vehicle production despite supply chain woes. Tesla managed to increase production in the first quarter of 2022 despite ongoing supply chain issues, factory closures prompted by COVID-19 restrictions, and other challenges. The company announced on April 2nd that it produced 305,407 vehicles, 291,000 units of the Model 3 and Y, and 14,000 units of the Model S and Model X last quarter. Deliveries were up too, with Tesla saying it delivered 310,000 vehicles between January and March. Engadget notes that deliveries are up 68% year over year. Tesla shipped roughly 184,000 vehicles in the first quarter of 2021. That's a remarkable increase given the supply chain problems that have forced Tesla and other automakers to adapt to component shortages. Tesla opened another Gigafactory in Germany on March 22nd, however, and it's expected to be able to produce 500,000 vehicles in 1 year once it starts operating at full capacity. But the company doesn't expect to output that many vehicles from the Gigafactory until 2025. Tesla says it will share its financial results from the first quarter of 2022 on April 20th, when it also plans to, quote, discuss the company's financial and business results and outlook in a webcast. Combating digital ignorance. People who study technology value creation ceaselessly argue which term of art is least illuminating and most irksome. Is it digital transformation, the phrase that has launched 1,000 consultancies and as many failed strategies? Is it cloud computing? Is it the ridiculously overhyped and inexplicably underexplained 5G? Or is it the recently coined Metaverse? The point here isn't to poke fun at today's buzziest tech terms, but to point out that the language, ensuing conversations, and general knowledge base about the most important migration in the history of humanity, i.e. the path to digital mastery, are universally perceived as being less than satisfactory. It is time for CIOs to recapture the narrative and talk truth to power regarding the hard road between where we are at today and where we want to be. It is time to root out digital ignorance wherever it may reside in the enterprise. Digital transformation, cloud computing, 5G, Metaverse, these are not strategies. A strategy has at least 3 components: an endpoint, a plan or set of tactics designed to reach that endpoint, and a timetable. Cloud computing is not a new concept, but a system of networks that pools computing power. Many executives are confused about the strategic possibilities and operational realities associated with the concept. Get further details on this topic by checking out the article in our show links. Staten Island workers vote to form Amazon's first union. Amazon workers in Staten Island have voted to form the company's first unionized warehouse. CNBC reports that approximately 8,325 workers at the JFK 8 Fulfillment Center were eligible to vote on this decision. Of those, 2,654 voted in favor of joining the Amazon labor union, and 2,131 voted against. That puts the approval rating at roughly 55% of people who voted. That's a dramatic shift from previous unionization efforts. Warehouse workers in Bessemer, Alabama voted against unionizing in April 2021, although critics have said that effort failed in no small part due to Amazon's efforts to discourage these workers from joining a union. We're disappointed with the outcome of the election in Staten Island because we believe having a direct relationship with the company is best for our employees, Amazon said in a statement to Reuters, and it seems the company is going to fight to maintain the status quo. We're evaluating our options, Amazon said in a statement to CNBC. including filing objections based on the inappropriate and undue influence by the NLRB that we and others, including the National Retail Federation and U.S. Chamber of Commerce. But this won't be the end of Amazon's unionization woes. Reuters says that workers in another Staten Island warehouse, LDJ5, will vote on whether or not they should unionize on April 25th. It wouldn't be a surprise if workers at other warehouses throughout the U.S. end up following suit. Epic brings building back to Fortnite's casual queue. Not 2 weeks after Epic Games removed the feature, building is back in Fortnite. On Saturday, Epic re-added Fortnite's classic Battle Royale mode to the game's casual queue, but now it lives side by side with the recently introduced Zero Build mode, and you can queue for both, either individually or as a part of a group made up of 2 or more players. Epic announced it would temporarily remove building from Fortnite at the start of Chapter 3, Season 2 on March 20th. The studio's decision to do so was surprising given that the feature was what made the game stand out when Epic eventually decided to release a Battle Royale mode in 2017, after seeing the success of PUBG. Judging by the response to Saturday's announcement, most people weren't happy about the change, even if it was always intended to be temporary. And that's a wrap for this episode of THT. Let us know what you thought of the episode by leaving a comment on one of our socials, and go ahead and share the episode while you're at it. Subscribe if you're still holding out, and we'll see you tomorrow.